Hello, Dental Team listeners. This is Kira, and I am so pumped. I got the one and only Dana with me. Usually Tiff and Dana podcast, and today Dana and I are going to podcast. How are you, Dana?
Doing good. I'm excited to be here. I know it's been too long and it's a fun space, so I'm glad I'm here.
I agree. I told Shelby, I was like, I record. Can we start getting the consultants on with me too? Like, I enjoy solo casting, but it'd be fun to hang. So I'm super glad. And today, you guys, Dana and I are bringing you a special treat. We are going to book club podcast. Dana, Britt, and I are probably the ones who actually book club in our companies. So we're the constant three that do it. And I asked Dana this morning, I was like, did you by chance read that book? Because if so, I'd love a podcast guest with me on it. And so thank you, Dana, for coming to the rescue with me. But I think it's going to be great. Our book club for this month is The Power of Fun, How to Feel Alive Again by Catherine Price. And honestly, Dana, I think you might know this, but maybe you don't. The reason I chose this podcast or this book was because the confetti was on the front. Like, that was why I chose it. On the book cover, there was confetti. Ryan Isaac and I were talking about it because I think I sent him the book of like probably Die with Zero or Profit First, like some like hard book. And he's like, why don't we have more fun books, Kira? So that's actually where it came from. But I'm super curious. Kind of let's dive into this book. If you guys didn't read it, totally fine. If you did, I think it's a slower read. I think Dana felt the same. But I think that there was a lot of good nuggets for now. And I'm all about how we can create more fun because I think adults forget how to have fun. That's, I think, my biggest takeaway is like we've forgotten how to have fun. And she gave some good tips on how to have more fun in our lives. What about you, Dana? What do you think?
Yeah. I mean, there was a lot for me to take away. I don't think I've ever categorized my fun or thought about creating space for fun. I think I'm a person that has a lot of fun and I laugh a lot and there's a lot of joy in my life, but it did definitely reframe my okay, well, what level of fun am I having, and prioritizing that higher level of fun, or what she calls true fun, in my life.
Yeah, absolutely. And she kind of talked about what I loved a lot that she talks about is how much of our society has actually shifted us to not have as much fun. And I think one of my favorite takeaways in the book was when she talked about how our cell phones were actually designed to be like slot machines. And so slot machines are intent so much study has gone into keeping people in the slot machine mode. And yet if we're doing that with our phones, gosh, our world is crazy to think about. And so helping us find ways to minimize distractions. And something she said is when you're not fully present, you're not happy. And so how can we be in the moment, having fun, and we're spending so much time consuming, but she said phones are actually causing constant stress and higher cortisol levels. And so playfulness, connection, and fun are the things that we should be going for. And that's laughing, being in nature, being purposeful, and being present. And times when we feel most alive are when we're actually playing. And I just thought it was such an interesting mindset of great, my phone's a freaking slot machine, which we all know. It's heavily addictive. We're constantly wanting to go to it. And yet that's actually what's causing us to not have as much fun, which I don't know, to be debated. Is it true? Is it not true? And this is where Dana and I love to book club. This is how we actually book club, is we talk about well, what do you think? How do you feel about that? What are your thoughts? So Dana, tell me your thoughts. Let's have real book club, Dental team style today.
Yeah, I mean, I do think that I can admit my phone can be a distraction, and I can think that I'm enjoying something, but if I put it away and I do something else, I can definitely see that I enjoy that other thing more, right? And so I think we tend to hold on to the phone or do the phone thing because in the moment it's yeah, scrolling TikTok, I'm laughing, right? Or looking and catching up with family on Instagram, that's fun. But when I put the phone away and I focus on connecting with the people around me and being really playful and engaging, I feel like that is definitely a different level of fun. And so I think that it's prioritizing those moments and understanding that what your phone really lacks is that connection.
Right. For sure. And I think some people might argue, is connection really fun? And do I actually need that? And do I want that? And I just think again, the books are here for conversation. They're here to challenge our beliefs and to question and to see what are we doing and what really is that way. But what I thought was interesting is, so over the summer, I had some things that came up for me and I was very disconnected from my phone. And I'm not going to lie to you, for the first 3 days, and it happens every time I go on vacation. I don't know about you, Dana, but literally every time I go on vacation, I have like withdrawal. So Jason and I will intentionally go to places where I have to like shut my phone off. I don't have service. I will purposely not buy service when I go places. And it's like a withdrawal. And I feel angry for usually like my first 2-ish days, sometimes even up to 3, which I don't know if that's a good thing or not. But I thought about it. And over the summer when I didn't have my phone, it was crazy how like I want to say carefree I became, but I went through the withdrawal period first of feeling angry, mad, annoyed, like just give me my freaking phone. It was weird. And I'm like, gosh, am I like literally having withdrawals, leaving this addiction? I don't know. Or was it like chicken and the egg? Or was it like cause and effect? I
Yeah.
don't know. So I don't know, Dane, if you've got thoughts on that, but those are the things that I've been thinking through
Yeah.
of like, is it really true or is it not?
Yeah, I definitely go through like I would say more like anxious, like am I going to miss something that's important or am I going to so like the anxiousness at first. I will say that I do have like when we go on family vacations or we go camping or we do those things, like I will put my phone in a drawer even if I don't have service. But then the flip side of that is I get really upset that I didn't snap photos.
I agree.
Because I'm like, I want to be in the moment. I want to remember the moment, like with my eyes and be super present. But then I get home and I'm like, I didn't take any pictures.
I know, cause like, but that, and that's all we have, right? Are the memories and the photos, and photos can like jar it. It's even crazy because like Apple Vision right now has a quote unquote live, and I was at this thing and an Apple Vision like guru came to our little conference. Like we got all these Apple Vision Pros, and they said like what we're doing is like we're creating time travel. Like I kid you not, this was part of their pitch for Apple Vision Pro because what they said is like if you do the video in live, you can put the Apple Vision Pro on, and it is simulated as if you are really back in that moment. So like taking the videos, which I think is like perpetuating us having our videos so we can relive the moment rather than living in the moment
Mhm.
is contrary to I think how you have fun. And so I think that there's like I think that's why she categorizes the fun within the book. I think that's why she has you look at it because I don't think it's an all or nothing. But there is a company. I was talking with Jason Tenori, shout out to him when I was up at his practice, and we were talking about. And there's this company called Brick, like a brick wall, and the purpose of the brick is what you do is you actually like tap your phone and you brick your phone. So we basically put our phones back into brick mode. Like remember when we used to have brick phones and all they did was like call and kind of text? Like that's actually the purpose and what this company is about. Because so often, and it's crazy because when you brick your phone, you literally have nothing on there. And it's wild how much you like, it's almost like phantom hands go to the scroll or phantom hands go to Siri or phantom hands go to Safari. Like all these things that I don't think we realize how dependent and reliant we are on it when it's like, no, I want to go on a hike and just use my phone for this. But then on the hike, it's like, well, let's check where we're going to go for lunch. Well, I don't have that. And I've got to go back to survival skills of like, all right, I guess we like drive to the town and figure that. So it is this like interesting concept, but I'm curious if we had like less phones, would we be happier? Or is there like this, or like have more fun? Or is there maybe a middle ground, Dana? And this is something we're obviously just riffing on right now, and we don't have answers to it. We're just talking
Yeah.
shop here.
Yeah. I mean, I think with anything, right? Like anything is great for you in small doses. And then, when it can be large doses, maybe it's not so good for you. So, my hope is that there is a middle ground on this and that we can use technology and advance in technology and use our phone. But also, I think big takeaway from this book is making space for more fun.
Right. And Dana, what are some of the things like how do you make space for more fun? Like what did you take away from the book or what are you applying in your own life?
Yeah.
I'm putting you on the spot. Maybe you
No, that's okay. No, I like that she kind of like went through like one big thing. I'll use myself as an example, right? As a mom of four, like something that she suggested is just making time as far as like looking at the things that you have to do and making sure like with your partner in my instance like my husband like that those things are distributed evenly, right? So that like I'm not the one that's making all the doctor's appointments and coordinating all of the kids schedules, and doing those things helps to create space. When those roles are divided evenly, there's more space for both of us to be able to prioritize fun. She talked about like organizing your physical and mental space. So using a planner and making sure that you plan for things and you've got deep work and focus time. And then outside of that, when you get lots of things done in your deep work time, it frees you up time to have more fun. Physical space, she talked about just like organizing your physical space so that when those things are organized, you don't have to constantly be cleaning up clutter or doing those things. It frees you up more. So I thought she had a lot of great suggestions that I think most of us can apply something to buy a little bit of time.
Right. And I am obsessed about this. So this summer I went and attended a bunch of conferences with Tony Robbins about, he calls it his RPM, rapid planning method. And like I learned about it and I hated it. And then for some reason it clicked this year. And I'm actually super freaking pumped because like non-shameless plug here, our new, like we're rolling out a little bit different of our consulting program, and we are bringing people in person, and I'm super jazzed. And if you're interested and you want to come like mastermind with doctors who are brilliant, and it's a leadership, so it's you and your OM, and then we actually help take it back to your team for you. So like still doing all the pieces, we focus in on your business for a nice retreat time, and then we're also going to work with you quarterly, plus you still have your customized calls. Like it's like 99% dental A team. We're just now bringing you guys in person to mastermind together and with us. And like the fun, exciting part of it is I actually am so excited because I am so passionate about life and dentistry. Like I realize life is my passion, dentistry is my platform. And so how can I help more dentists and more people have more time in their lives, but do it in the way that is fun? And so part of Tony's thing that we're actually going to incorporate like styles of Tony, but made Kira's way and then tied into dentistry for your practice is Tony had us go through and actually map out like the categories of our life. And I'm so pumped because I'm going to help dentists do this again, like taking from Tony Robbins and then adapted to Kira's way of how I want to do it. But it was so magical because Dana, I actually built a category of fun because I realized I never did fun and I didn't actually like schedule fun. And so every week when I'm looking at my week, I look for like, where am I connected to Jason? What am I doing for the business? What am I doing for like, and I call our house like our oasis. There's also power in language. So like, it's not just Jason, it's like my forever love story with Jason. And then fun, like I wrote, like life is meant to be fun and playful and like have the sprinkles and the confettis. And so every week as I've been doing this for the last couple of months, prepping and preparing and like fine tuning how I want to do it with our doctors. So don't worry, like it will be so much business. But if you don't have the life that's fun and fulfilling for you, we miss the mark, in my opinion, which is why I'm so excited. And if you're interested and you want to be a part of our inaugural like beta group with us, like please join us. It's going to be freaking magic. But like, it's been awesome, Dana, because I feel my life is more balanced. And I hate the word balanced because work and fun are not equal. Like they're not, but they feel balanced. And I feel like every week I look forward to like, what is my fun? And if it's not in my calendar, I'm like, well, shoot, I need to have more fun. And it is the same thing of like, can I delegate these things to Jason or someone else so that way we can have more time? You can look for like different apps or using people who are like, hey, we're doing all these tasks. Could we hire a nanny for this? Or could we hire like this summer I hired a lawn care company and I thought it was so dumb. But Jason did so many projects that he's never done because we didn't have to mow the lawn. And so it was just like a little test that I tried to do. We've since gotten rid of them and he's back to mowing the lawn. But the idea is like we're building our lives and having that fun element in there, not just doing our work and like the drudgery day in, day out. So to me, it felt like much more intentional with our time than just being on autopilot, which is what I'm so excited about. Like, yes, of course, it's 90% business, but if I miss the mark of your life being what you want it to be, I feel like we've failed. So that's actually what I'm so excited about. And if that jazzes you, reach out, hello@thedentalteam.com. I can't tell you how excited I am. This has been a project in the making for years, and it's coming to life. March 2025. So get ready, reach out. Even if it's fine, like it's too late, we have multiples throughout the year. So like, don't even panic. You'll be able to be a part of it. And it's still everything Dental Team's offered with team integration and doctor integration and practice. But like, how can I help people have more fun and have a life that's more purposeful and meaningful is what just lights my fire, Dana. And I
Yeah.
think that that's the whole premise of this book.
Yeah. And I think it's just like understanding what building in fun gets you. Cause like when I have fun, I am definitely more creative. I am definitely able to focus, right? Cause I had an output of energy somewhere else and I can definitely focus. It does help fight burnout, right? Which we always fear for teams is, are they going to get burnt out? And I think that when there's fun built in, it helps fight those things off. It helps fight off stress. When you build those things in and yeah, I think that's, you're right. Work and fun never are necessarily balanced, but they definitely, fun can help work not feel so overwhelming.
Couldn't agree with you more. And I love that you brought up the point about burnout because like everybody's looking for the master like bullet of how do we avoid burnout. And I'm like, I think it's just having more fun in life. Like can we allow ourselves those simple pleasures and like think of how much time as children we spent playing and creative and shutting our minds off, and now it's like nose to the grindstone like robots. And it's been interesting because as I've changed my schedule up, like I said, I'm testing on myself as the lab rat here to then not lab, like let's keep it more like PR. I'm testing on myself as the beta test
There
here,
you
and
go.
then we're going to take it to other people. But what I found is if I have this shut off time and I have this time where I can be more creative and more fun, my ideas for the business come so much faster and easier rather than trying to like plow through. And I realize there's like a different mode of creative and like operative. And it's two different parts of our brain. And so it's like, to me, it kind of took away the guilt of like, go have fun because I actually like simultaneously I'm actually working on the business. Like whatever I'm doing here is actually there. So if I'm organizing my house, I'm organizing my business. If I'm having fun, I'm having fun in the business. Like they go energetically across the boards. And like my best ideas have literally come when I'm hiking or when I'm on the water and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's a great idea. Or I'm on vacation because everything else is shut off. And I think that's the whole point, is like giving our brains like through this fun a time of shut off where it's just play and everything almost goes into like rest mode, even though we're actively having fun doing something and being playful and laughing.
Yeah.
So with that, I think for all of you, have more fun. How can your practices have more fun? How can your life have more fun? I think that it's just, if you don't enjoy the book, that's okay. I felt like it was a bit of a slower read, but I think the principle of how can we have more fun and how can we build more fun into our life. And if you need help like I did, be sure to join us. Platinum is coming your way and it's going to be freaking fun. If you're like, hey, I need systems and I need one-on-one help, great. We've got that for you too. Obviously we do systems and whatnot within Platinum, but it's really about how can we create your life and have your practices there. It's just going to be magic. So reach out, join us. Hello at thedeadlineteam.com. Dana, thanks for podcasting on having some more fun with me.
Yeah, absolutely. Anytime.
I loved it. And for those of you who are on our book club with us, next month we are going to have Deep Who, Not How, the formula to achieve bigger goals through accelerating teamwork by Dan Sullivan. I'm obsessed with Dan Sullivan. Like, I love Dan Sullivan so much. I literally met Dan Sullivan at a conference and I like geeked out and was just like, oh my gosh, I need to talk to you. Like, literally has changed my life. And now you guys can have who, not how, which I think is a really awesome one, especially with hiring and all the different pieces. Like, who do we need, not how do we always do this and rely on ourselves. So get ready for that. Dana, thanks for being on the pod with me today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Of course. And for all of you listening, thanks for listening. And I'll catch you next time on the Dental Team Podcast.